I used to always feel like the most unluckiest person alive. I wasn't the type of person to win anything or to have good things happen to them. I was the type of person to see most people around me be in the successful relationship, make more money than me, be more successful than me, and even be more confident and self-assured than I was. This really bothered me to the point where I adopted a mentality that I'm simply not that girl. I identified as the person who believed that miracles don't just happen to them. I don't walk into the right place at the right time. I don't just get a really good business opportunity or stumble across the right person at the right time. I don't just go viral on social media. And even on the simple things like ordering food, and let's say that the person ahead of me says, hey, you can go first, or them offering to pay for my food, that never really happened for me. I used to think life could never be that easy for me, and I looked at everything as nothing ever going my way. I never truly felt lucky or ease in my life until I started doing inner work, shifting my mindset, and most effectively embodying my feminine energy. This didn't only make me irresistible to the type of people that I started attracting into my life, but it also made me irresistible to opportunities and wealth naturally coming into my life. I was finally able to see how easy it is for me to magnetize and attract the things that I desire without forcing and without doing too much. I just had to open myself to these opportunities because good things do happen to me. Things can be easy for me, and so it can for you as well. I don't just promise you this, I can actually swear by this. This is all coming from someone who used to always see themselves at the bottom of the food chain. So if this all sounds familiar to you and you can see yourself in what I just shared, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to walk in your power. How to know without a doubt that you, yes, you can live an abundant and easy life where you don't have to chase or force opportunities, people, love, wealth, none of that. And I know all of this may sound too good to be true, but it's not. And this is exactly where we're going to start, is by believing that it is possible for you, because it simply is. Okay, before we actually dive in and I continue, I just want to let you know I am creating an entire series around what it means to embody your feminine energy and to live through her. And this is only video numero 2. So stay tuned for the next video where I'll be talking about balancing your masculine energy and how to use it to magnetize and create the life you desire, because we also do need masculine energy as well. What is feminine energy? Let's first briefly go over what feminine energy actually is. And mind you, the first video to this series explains feminine energy to its core. So I do recommend checking out that video as well to get a clear and in-depth understanding of feminine energy. I'll link the video down below, and I'll also link it somewhere around here for you to check out if you want to dive deeper into it. Okay, so feminine energy, what is it? Feminine energy is the aspect of you that allows you to be fluid and open in life. It's how you allow things to naturally happen and unfold without controlling or fixating on things. It's how you express yourself creatively. It's the side of you that brings things to life. It's when you romanticize your life and feel deeply connected to life, when life feels meaningful. It's your nurturing and compassionate side. It's also when you trust in your intuition and allow it to guide you through life. And my favorite part, it's when you feel a deep sense of self, when you feel confident in who you are. It's when you feel whole and complete in the now, just as you are. It's being your most authentic and true self. And most importantly, it's when you know that things will work out in your favor despite your current reality. I break this down even deeper and with more examples in the Feminine Within workbook that I created. If you want to check that out, I'll link it down below for you to take a look. Just know the feminine energy is not just one thing. It is like a vast ocean of different things, and that's exactly why I am creating an entire series around feminine energy. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get into how to awaken, heal, and embody your feminine energy. This is how you become your most magnetic and radiant self. It's by being and living through her, the part of you that is eager to come to life and light things up. We're going to look at your feminine energy as a garden, and we'll call this garden the magical feminine garden. Imagine yourself standing in front of this garden, and right now you notice that the garden is a little bit dry. It's a little bit crusty and even abandoned, but it's okay because we are about to bring it to life and have it blooming like never before. So let's grab our tools and get to work. The first thing we need to do is become aware of what we're dealing with. We need to weed out whatever is in the way. We need to take a look and see what is blocking the garden from truly blooming. So the very first step is awakening the feminine within you, aka pulling the weeds. To awaken something is to become aware of it. So I want you to bring awareness to how your feminine energy is blocked in your life. In other words, let's get clear in what ways you're not showing up in your feminine energy. To make this a little bit easier, let's think about this on a spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional level. Just like in the garden example, we're first going to take a look to see what needs to be removed out of the garden to then start planting those new seeds. So to do this, I want you to take out your journal and a pen, or just a piece of paper is fine too, and write down all the ways in which you feel you're not connected with your feminine energy. Awakening your feminine energy is realizing, I find myself getting worried and anxious about my future and what's gonna happen a lot. I don't trust that things are going to work out in the way that I want them to. And a lot of times this leads me to wanting to control things. Oh shoot, I'm not trusting or having faith in the universe, in God, that things will work out for me despite my current reality. It's realizing I can be really hard on myself and overly judge myself when I mess up or do something wrong. I tend to talk to myself negatively and say mean things to myself instead of being compassionate and understanding towards myself, specifically in moments of frustration. Oh shoot, maybe I need to change my mentality towards myself. It's also, I don't feel so confident about my body. I don't really nourish it with healthy meals or rest when it's asking to rest. And I don't embrace my sensuality either. Oh shoot, I must be disconnected from my body. It's also realizing I tend to get overly emotional, angry, or sad when things don't go my way, or when people treat me in a certain way. But whatever, I can just go smoke or drink or scroll on my phone, aka suppressing your emotions, and the bad feeling is just gonna go away. Oh shoot, I need to give myself the space to process, feel, and release my emotions in a healthy way. And let me just give you one more example, because this is very important for you to understand. This could all also just be you realizing, I'm so busy throughout the week, I don't have the energy to do much on the weekends. My to-do list and my responsibilities feel so overwhelming. I don't feel as energized or motivated. Most of the time, I feel drained and bored, and I just want to scroll on my phone and do nothing. Oh shoot, I don't invite pleasure and play enough into my life. I could certainly use romanticizing and spicing up my life a little more. I hope these examples are helpful for you in figuring out what to write down for yourself. The best way to start organizing this garden, or in other words, to become aware of how you are disconnected from your feminine energy, is to write down whatever comes to mind that feels good and in alignment with your feminine energy, and what you feel is not in alignment with your feminine energy. You can also categorize things in the way that I did, with writing things down in a spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional category. If you do it this way, just make sure to write down as many examples as you can for each category. After all of this, I want you to set intentions and to be curious. Just as if you were staring at this garden of yours and you were wondering where you would plant certain flowers or where you would position everything, you're going to do the same with yourself. Ask yourself, what if I don't have to fixate and worry so much about my problems and how things are going to get fixed? What if I can just trust, let go, and know that I can get through anything with God's guidance? Another intention that you can set going forward is to allow people to help you. Allow yourself to receive nice gestures without rejecting it. If someone gives you a nice compliment, you don't have to say, oh, but I look a mess today anyways, or I just threw this on. Take the compliment, woman. You can also set the intention that going forward, you will start being more aware and start feeling more fulfilled, more whole without external validation, without needing people or things to make you happy, and feeling happy just with yourself. I would have two separate pages, one where you're focusing on your current blockages and the other where you're focusing on your intentions. The next step is healing. And this is where you're gonna have to get your hands dirty because we're about to pull out everything, girl. Just like in the garden, we need to remove any weeds, branches, and dead plants because those things are only taking up space and blocking things from flourishing. So we're going to be healing, aka planting the seeds. And I actually have a seed to show you. It's a huge seed, but it is a seed. It's not a seed. Oh my goodness. No, this was something else actually. You know what? Okay, to actually do something about these blockages and these weeds, we are going to incorporate or practice some healing practices. These healing practices don't only remove these weeds that are in the way, but it also sets the ground to plant the most perfect seed. A seed that will bloom like nothing you've ever seen before. The practices I'm about to share with you are essential to embodying your feminine energy. The first practice is going to be mirror work. And if you haven't heard about mirror work, then allow me to enlighten you. The purpose of this practice is to stare into the windows of your soul. You'll just be staring into your eyes for 10 to 15 minutes, and you will allow for whatever needs to come up to come up. But since we are doing this practice specifically to embody and connect with your feminine energy, you are going to be looking into yourself for 10 to 15 minutes and invite in your divine feminine self. If you feel called to, you can speak and call her in, or you can just think about these things in your head. But have a conversation with her and ask her to come forward. Ask her to allow you to see her, to embody her, to become her, to feel her. And as you're looking at yourself in the mirror, notice what comes up. Do you start feeling compassion towards yourself? Do you start feeling like you love yourself more? Do you start feeling like you finally truly see yourself? And simply sit with that. I will say this is one of my favorite and most powerful practices. It is the mirror work. Just try it and see through it. It may feel a little uncomfortable at first. You may even see distortions in your face, but I'm telling you, this will be a way to reconnect with yourself and build a strong sense of self-love like never before. At least it was for me. The second practice is going to be dance. Oh my goodness, I also really love this one. I'm telling you guys, these are really, really good practices if you actually do them. Through dance is how you truly activate your feminine energy, because when you move your body, that energy is flowing and moving. It makes you feel feminine, specifically when you're doing hip movements, okay? You have to make sure to include your womb. The womb is your portal. It is your womanhood. The point with dancing is to allow yourself to follow the rhythm, to follow the music, to feel it without thinking too much about how you're looking, without thinking too much about the next step. It's more so a flow, okay? You are surrendering to wherever your body will lead you. Something I highly recommend you to do with this practice as well is to wear a skirt or a dress. Oh my goodness, that's how you're truly going to step into that feminine power. You're going to feel so girly, so feminine, so in your power, in your essence. I mean, this one is truly empowering as well. So try it. Turn on your favorite song, your favorite playlist, and just allow your body to flow. The third healing aspect is meditation or visualization. Oh my God. I could just swear by all of these practices, and it's because I've done them myself and I saw how effective they were that I just know they're going to be effective for you as well if you actually practice and do them. This is also everything that I talk about in the Feminine Within workbook that I created. So with this practice, what you want to do is you want to visualize yourself, your future self, your feminine self as your most relaxed, confident, surrendered, in flow, at ease version of yourself. You want to play out in your head as you're meditating or visualizing how that person feels. So what I did with this is, to give you an example, I saw myself in this island and I was walking down the street with a mango in my hand. And the way that I felt in that moment, as I felt the breeze brush against my hair, as I saw the horizon of the beach, as I saw the people walking around me, is that I felt so profoundly connected to Gaia, to the planet, to Earth. I felt present and I felt not a single worry in the world. And I focused on the feeling. This is the key here, the feeling. What are you feeling in that moment? For me, it was how I didn't have a single thing to worry about. My finances were super abundant. My love life was perfectly together. I had great friendships and I felt like I truly belonged. There was no worry, no doubt, no anxiety, no negative emotion about anything. I felt fully relaxed in my body and I could feel how my nervous system was completely grounded and relaxed. This is a practice that I really like to do when I have a lot going on and when my current reality isn't as relaxing and it's more so overwhelming. This is where I take myself. This is my happy place. Okay, healing practice number 4. Yet another powerful one. This is emotional release or a letter release. It is up to you. With this practice, you simply want to sit with yourself and your emotions. You want to sit with the parts of you that you feel you need to let go. You can do this by simply allowing yourself to cry, to scream, to punch the air maybe. But the point of this is for you to release the energy that is stagnant, that is blocked in your body. This is any shame that you have around yourself. This is any worry, any anxiety, any doubt, any fears that are holding you back. And you would apply the same practice through writing a letter. You'll write a letter to the version of you that doesn't feel ease, that doesn't feel confident in themselves, the version of you that has gone through the struggles and the pain, the version of you that is not living a life that feels aligned, fulfilled, and easy. And tell her, it's okay. Things don't have to be that way. Things do get better. Things do get to be easy. You do get to be lucky. You do get to live an abundant life with the right partner, making the right amount of money, and all of the things that you desire. You can either put this letter away and keep it safe somewhere to read at a later time, or you can safely burn it away as a release of you no longer holding to that version of yourself. I've done both and I like both, so I'd say try both. And the last and 5th healing practice is going to be saying affirmations and using affirmations to your advantage. And I know that a lot of people question the power of affirmations, but I don't. I feel that they're very effective as long as you're using them along with inner work. The thing with affirmations is that it doesn't work on its own. So if you're doing these other practices and you incorporate affirmations, that's only going to make things happen even faster for you. So empower yourselves through your voice, through what you say to yourself. You can say things like, I am the divine feminine. I am my most confident self. I believe and trust in myself. Things always come to me with ease. I am not my past. I am creative and intuitive. Money always finds me. Everywhere I look, there's an opportunity. There's someone blessing me. There's someone doing something for me. And for this, I really want you to come up with your own affirmations because you want to speak to yourself. You want to say things to yourself that really resonate with you, not just things that you're going to say them, but things that you feel deeply in your core. And think about what you need to hear most at this time in your life. Those are the type of affirmations that you want to create and give to yourself. I don't want you to take these practices lightly. I also need you to understand that I'm not just naming random healing practices. These are things that I did myself, and these are practices that will help you in reprogramming your mind and in reprogramming your body, your nervous system to truly embody your feminine energy. So take your time with them. Really practice them. I would say do each healing practice at least for 2 weeks, 3 times a week. See which one resonates with you the most, then stick to that one. Okay, my love. Now we are going to talk about embodiment, aka blooming. Just as the flowers in the garden will bloom, so will you. Because now you're glowing. Now you're actually showing up as her. You are her. You're not just wishing you lived an easy life, you're actually doing it. To be something is to show up as that something. So I'm about to walk you through some practices, as I do in the Feminine Within Workbook, that naturally put you in your feminine energy. The first thing is going to be self-care and self-compassion. This is you prioritizing yourself and investing the time and energy into yourself by having a self-care routine, something like a hair routine, a skin routine. This is also you showing up for yourself and holding space for yourself. This is you being there for yourself and making the time to process your emotions, to journal about them or cry it out or whatever it is that you need to do. The point is that you don't want to allow your emotions or what you're thinking about to overwhelm you or to suppress them. A more unique way to practice self-care and compassion is to make a self-soothing box. Make a box for yourself that is filled with soothing, calming things. You can fill this box with a love letter that you write to yourself. You can put calming scents and your favorite tea. And if you're into that stuff, you can even put crystals in there. Get creative and play around with it. The point is to make this for those days that you really need comfort. It'll be like receiving a hug from your soul. There's one more thing I want to say about self-compassion, and it's because this is so deeply important, is to be mindful of how you speak to yourself in times of frustration or when you feel like you did something that you regret, when you mess up. Those are the moments that truly determine that relationship that you have to yourself. Because as the divine feminine, you do not belittle yourself. You do not judge yourself. You are not harder on yourself. Instead, you hold space for yourself. You hold yourself literally. You caress yourself and you remind yourself that it's okay to mess up, that you're still learning. Okay, the second one is going to be flow and trust. Program your mind to believe that things can be easy. You're going to create a voice memo on your phone, your computer, wherever you want to do it, but you're going to use your own voice to talk about how easy, loving, fulfilling, and amazing your life feels. Go into detail about how relaxed and joyful your days are. This is sort of similar to the visualization practice I talked about, but this is going to be a recorded voice memo. And you're going to specifically talk about what you do throughout the day, what your day feels like and what it looks like in ease and flow. To create more flow and more trust in your life, I now want you to rewrite the story in your life. Although things have been hard in your past, they do not have to continue being hard. Anytime something comes to you with ease, whether it's a conversation, money, a person, a sale, celebrate it, journal about it. Write it down. Take note of it mentally and physically and give yourself proof of how things can be easy in your life. Think of the ways in which certain things happen easily for you right now in your life, even the small things. Maybe it's someone offering to drive for you or to put gas in your car or to buy you a meal, because I promise you, you just have to highlight those moments to continue seeing more of it. The other way to invite more flow into your life is to think of ways to make your life more easier. Work smart, not hard. This is one that really made a difference for me, specifically with how many responsibilities I have. I started approaching and thinking how I can make things easier for myself anytime I had to deal or delegate with a task. Like instead of leaving my room to pile up with clothes throughout the week, I would pick up little by little every day so that way I didn't have a huge mess to clean up at the end of the week. Instead of rushing through your mornings trying to find what to wear and where you left your shoes last night, put them aside the night before so that you know exactly where to find them and you're not rushing, looking around last minute. Get in the habit of asking yourself, how can I make this easier for myself? The third way to embody your feminine energy is through authenticity and magnetism. And these two really go hand in hand. You are magnetic when you are authentic, when you're confident in yourself and you're not afraid of being seen, when you have self-trust. It's when you express yourself and you're assertive in yourself. So I want you to start practicing being more in your power, being more authentic. Practice allowing yourself to be yourself. Don't hide away or shy away from who you truly are. Do the things that you truly want to do. Show up in the way that you truly want to show up. Maybe you're actually a really funny person, but you don't really show that too often. Maybe you have ideas and philosophies that you don't really share because you're afraid of how people will judge you, of how you will be seen. All of that needs to go, my love. You need to be at your fullest expression to radiate that feminine energy. Maybe you consider yourself a weird person, so when you're in a public space or around certain people, you hold back on your composure, you hold back on what you want to say, you hold back in how you appear. F all of that, okay? Those that are for you are going to fall in love with you for who you are and nothing else. Having to notice that people who are themselves unapologetically, whether it's in a good or bad way, get the most attention. People are naturally drawn to people who are themselves unapologetically. It just makes you so much more magnetic. The fourth embodiment practice is going to be your intuition. This one, we need to start leaning more into our intuition. It is your inner guidance, your inner compass. You know how we often seek for other people's opinions, how we often seek externally for what choice, what decision to make, and we don't know what we should do about certain situations in our lives? It is because you're disconnected from your intuition. And of course, there's nothing wrong with asking for advice and getting someone else's opinion, but you need to really be able to trust in yourself primarily. So start doing things to help you strengthen your intuition. One of them that I've actually done myself before, and is very fun and creative way to do this, is to go on a walk. But this walk has a twist to it. Instead of choosing where you're going to walk to, allow your intuition to guide you. Go towards the path that you feel called or inclined to walk through. Maybe you feel called to walk over to a certain tree or a flower or a bird. Tune into your senses. Tune into that gut feeling. Next time you're at the grocery store, instead of just picking out items that you normally get, tune into your intuition and pick the brand, the fruit, the veggies, the items that you feel called to. Let's say that you're holding strawberries and bananas, and intuitively, for whatever reason, you feel more called to get the bananas. So you're gonna go with the bananas that day. As a divine feminine, you're always in tune with your intuition. This is how you're going to trust in your own decision making. Instead of feeling indecisive and not knowing what to do, or asking your best friend or someone else for your own life advice. Number 5 is creativity and pleasure. And hear me out, because a lot of people think that being creative is when you are an artist, when you're a professional, when you can sing and paint really good. But creativity is also just birthing new ideas. It's bringing pleasure into your life through activities and new experiences. You can be creative and put yourself in the creative energy and space by going to a sculpting class, by going roller skating, going on a solo date, and even spicing up or making every moment more enjoyable, more fun, even when you're doing your chores. Maybe you can dance around and listen to your favorite podcast or playlist as you're doing dishes. You can pause for a quick second and pull some moves. And another thing that you can do that I really enjoy doing myself is having a yes day. Specifically saying yes to things that will connect you with your inner child. Número 6, presence and gratitude. Okay, hear me out, love. One of the main things about the divine feminine, about life, about living with ease, is your ability to be in the present moment. It's your ability to slow down. We are just way too rigid. We rush through almost everything that we do, and we don't even realize this. I want you to slow down and move with intention. Slow down with how you eat, with how you're brushing your teeth in the morning, with how you talk, with how you walk even. Pause for a moment. Let's say you're doing dishes. Instead of just, let me get this out of the way, I need to be done. Slow down. How does the water feel as it hits your skin? How does the soap feel? Is it soft? Is it bubbly? And then, of course, you just have to tap into gratitude. The divine feminine is always grateful for everything that she has. She understands that she is beyond blessed to have all of the things that she gets to have, even if it's the simple things like a roof over your head, food in your fridge, water. You know how big of a luxury it is that you can get up and grab some water whenever you please, that you have a bed to sleep on? And something that helped me with tapping into gratitude, because I used to really struggle with that. I don't know, these are things that I have every single day that I didn't really see as, oh, I need to be grateful for this. And so what helped me is imagining the opposite. I would think about, what would I feel? What would my life be like if I didn't have the things that I have? If I didn't have the luxury of just coming home and laying down? If I didn't have the luxury of opening my fridge and having many options of foods to eat if I didn't get to just drink water whenever I feel thirsty. And this, I don't know, it did something for me, but it allowed me to truly feel how grateful I am for everything that I have. I mean, like, I could tear up just talking about it. Wow, how blessed am I? Because some people don't have the things that you have, that you're praying for that very thing that you are taking for granted every single day. Number 7, receptivity and softness. Practice being open to receiving. This is you receiving compliments and allowing people to do nice things for you. And I think I talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's you allowing for someone to pay for your meal, to do something for you without you rejecting it. Oh no, you don't have to do that. Oh, that's too much. I can't accept this. How do you expect the universe, God, to bless you with bigger things, with that job that you want, with making $10,000 a month, with the right partner, when you can't even accept the most basic small things? We're not going to say no thank you. We are simply going to say, oh, thank you. That's so kind of you, and leave it at that. Being receptive is also you being open-minded to different perspectives. Don't be so quick to judge just because someone has a different way of seeing things than you do. You can practice softness by relaxing your body more. We tend to tense up our body a lot more than we realize. So start noticing what areas in your body you get the most tensed up. For me, it's usually my hips. I started noticing that whenever I'm standing, I tend to tuck in my hips a little bit. Well, I can't show you. And so I started relaxing my hips more. For you, it could be your shoulders or your jaw. You can even practice softness through your tone of voice. Try speaking slower, more softer. Try pacing yourself. Try pausing a little longer in between sentences, in between words. You can become more soft through touching. Feel into the texture of things, how soft, how bumpy, how whatever it is that you're feeling. And you can certainly practice being more soft through your attitude. This is you being more kind. This is you smiling more often. This is you being more inviting and nurturing with those around you. And something else I like to do to put myself in the receiving space that you don't really hear about is putting your palms up, closing your eyes, imagine yourself receiving everything that you want and how easy it's coming to you. I don't know, there's something about putting your hands like this that it's really like, okay, give it to me. Like I allow myself to receive. So practice these things and get in that space. And the 8th and last one is assertiveness and setting boundaries. You have to be assured of who you are. Don't be afraid to voice your needs, your opinions, and your feelings in a direct and honest way, even if this means someone not liking it. Set boundaries with people and be clear and know what your expectations are from yourself and from people. Think about what you won't tolerate from people, what's not acceptable to you and your standards, your desires. Maybe it's the way that someone talks to you, the way that they treat you, the way that they invade your space. And when you see someone breaking those boundaries, doing the things that you said you wouldn't tolerate, you take a step backwards. Make sure you don't break your own boundaries, because that is really important. Not with anyone, not with yourself. This is how you build strong self-respect and self-trust. Oh my goodness. I feel like I need to make an entire video on just these embodiment practices, because they're so much deeper than what my words are saying on this video. Like, when you actually do this, you would really understand what I mean. Okay, I know we just covered a lot on how to awaken, heal, and embody your feminine energy, but I'm telling you, I promise you that if you actually incorporate the practices I shared with you, you're going to feel and tap more into your feminine energy. And we're almost done, but we're not done yet. And the last thing I want to share with you is being delulu is the solulu. I don't know about this little title thing, but I do agree with it. A huge part about being in your feminine energy, specifically as you're starting out, is to be delusional about who you want to be. You have to be delusional about the things you desire in your life. I'm sure you've heard of people saying you have to feel it or be it before becoming it, and that is actually very, very true. This is why people say fake it until you make it. You have to think, behave, and be just as your feminine self would. If your feminine self has self-respect, then you're going to show up with self-respect. If your feminine self trusts in the process and in herself, then you're going to do that. Because what's going to happen is that eventually you are going to become her. That transition, that line between your old self and your future self, that version of you that you know exists within you, will get blurred. You're going to be her because you've already been doing the things that she does. You have her habits, you have her routine, you have her way of thinking, you have a way of loving and respecting yourself. So it'll just be naturally who you become. Get clear on what it is that you need to change in your life right now that is not aligned with your feminine energy. Maybe it's your need of control to letting go. Maybe it's letting go of the bad habit of scrolling for hours on your phone with educating yourself, with reading a book. Maybe it's just replacing your limiting belief that you're not capable of achieving your goals and replacing it with the delusion that it has all already worked out for you. Just keep in mind that these things will not happen overnight, but if you keep practicing, and I've said this and I'll keep saying it, eventually it will all come together, I promise. These are the type of things that I walk you through in the Feminine Within workbook, is how to create a new routine, how to create habits that are actually aligned with your feminine energy. So if you want to check it out, the link is below. All right, my love, we did it. Well, you did it. You learned all about how to awaken, heal, and embody your feminine energy. In the next video, we are going to be diving into how to balance and work with your masculine energy to bring things into your reality, because it is through the masculine that we take action, that we have that assertiveness, that we are ambition, that we go after what we want. You cannot just be in your feminine and not your masculine. This is how we bring things from the dreamland, aka the feminine, to reality, the masculine. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.